Okay, guys, I figured I'd come on live here just to share some more results here from the Golden Era Scanner, trading gold, 5-minute scalping strategy. You can get my videos and all the videos I make on the PDF. The link to that will be in the description area of this video. Now, again, like I said earlier, I've noticed some posts on Facebook where people aren't interpreting the scanner correctly here. This trade here, which when you look at it appears to be a winning trade, is actually a trade that probably would not have gone off. Okay. And the reason for that is this, guys. The signal isn't on the candle with the check mark. The candle with the check mark is simply the first confirmation. Then you have to wait 5 minutes for the next candle to close. So you do not enter on this candle here. Okay, so some people would mistakenly say, hey, look, the wick comes down into the zone of action or golden zone, so you get in the trade right there. That's not correct. You don't enter the trade off of this candle. You wait. You have to wait 5 minutes for this candle to close. And then after that 5 minutes is up, once this candle closes, then all of your parameters will show up here. Until this candle closes, all you see is your potential zone of action. Okay, it's not until this next 5-minute candle closes that you actually see your invalidation zone, your exit one, your exit two. So this trade, unless you would have just decided to take it because it got really close here, right? If you just would have market executed, that would be a good trade, right? You would have ended up with a winning trade. You would have went through X, you would have went through take profit one and take profit two. Okay, now that the white flag is here, that means this trade's no longer valid. So now you could see this candle is coming back down into the zone, but you would no longer have your limit order set there, and you would no longer want to take this trade. Now, you could have gotten in on this candle here if you did a market execution, but if you had a limit order set, it probably wouldn't have gone off. Okay, so this trade looks like a winning trade. It could have been a winning trade depending on whether or not you decided to market execute on this candle here. But what I want to make sure everyone understands is that you don't use this candle to enter the trade. Okay, so this is the first confirmation. The check mark shows up. You have to wait for that next candle to close. Depending on what this next candle does, that will determine whether or not your parameters will show up when it closes. Okay, because if it decides to drop down here below this area of invalidation, then this trade will just no longer be valid. It'll disappear. Okay. And on the other hand, if it decides to go, it did go up, but since it closed back down here, it was still valid. So had this candle closed up here, then it would have showed up like this, but there would have been a white flag immediately saying that it's no trade. So you just got to keep in mind, guys, this is a very easy scanner to learn how to use, and it's only one pair, the gold XAUUSD, and it's on the 5-minute time frame. That's it. So it's a very easy scanner to use. The next scanner I'm going to show you is the Sniper Pro. I started watching the videos for today, so I'm going to go through the PDF files tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get some videos up on this coming week for you. Okay. But I'm also going to keep tracking the gold era scanner here for you whenever I can. So we're making this video here tonight, Sunday, May 18th, 2025. It's about 8:40 Eastern Standard Time. So like I said, this could have been a potential trade for you here if you were watching this and you did a market execution because it was very close to the zone of action. Had you just had a limit order set and walked away, it probably wouldn't have executed. Okay, so we'll wait and see for another potential trade opportunity to come up here. And again, guys, keep in mind that I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not qualified to give you investment advice. I'm showing you all of these after the fact. Okay. Forex is risky business. You can lose all or part of your capital, so you should always trade on a demo account at first to make sure you can use the strategy and you can be profitable with it. And always remember that past results do not equal future profits. Okay, so let's take a break and we'll come back later when another signal comes off here. But I did want to say, guys, that this is, while we're waiting for another trade, this is the Golden Era Scanner overview PDF that I created. It has my overview video, shows you how the scanner is used. And then we have some results videos here. There's one from 513, 514, 515. And then, of course, this will be 518. This will go on here once it's done right underneath here. So I just kind of put the results videos right down the line here. And then this is a download link to get the actual overview PDF that was done by the creator of the scanner. And this is information about the live educator on GFU Live that does the live analysis on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 12 p.m. Now, of course, you have to become a member of GFU in order to get access to the scanner itself and the live educators, all the live educators. And again, you get access to all 6 of the academies we have in GFU: the Forex, the crypto, the social media, the mindset, the e-commerce, the finance, and also the travel portal. And then you get all 7 scanners that we have right now, along with all the live educators and their live sessions and recorded sessions. And last week I went through this Golden Era scanner. I did this deep dive into it with this PDF, and I'm going to be posting results videos here at least throughout this next week. And then sometime this week, like I said earlier, I'll do a dive into the Sniper Pro scanner. So this one's a little more involved. And so there's a little more instructional videos. You can use it for you can use it for Forex, crypto, Bitcoin, gold, indices, commodities, everything. So you can use it for everything, and you can use it across all the time frames. So it's a little bit more involved. You just decide what time frame you want to use it on and what you actually want to trade, whether it's indices, commodities, Forex, or even individual stocks if you wanted to. So I'll be doing those videos later this week. Okay, guys, so right here we see another signal coming out here. There's the yellow check mark. And again, see how this candle's forming. You don't take the trade off of this candle here. You have to wait for this candle to close. Once this candle closes, if the market conditions are still correct, then your parameters will show up here for the trade. So this is what I'm trying to show you. Now, you could see right here, if this candle ends up closing down here, then this trade will become invalid and this check mark will actually disappear. Okay. So we'll see what happens here. We have about 3 more minutes to go, but you can clearly see here that the price action is just going the other way here. And it's already gone through, completely through the zone of action here that's marked up. So the only thing that gets marked up when the check mark comes out, okay, is the zone of action. And then, like I said, you have to wait for the next 5-minute candle to close, right? And once that next candle closes, if the conditions are right for the trade, then the parameters for the trade will come up. So you don't take the trade off of this candle. Now you can see here the price is just tanking down here. So more than likely what's going to happen is when this candle closes, this check mark will disappear. And you'll probably get a check mark down below this candle to look for a buy. But we'll come back on in a couple of minutes, see what happens. Okay, so you could see here that price is still well down below this zone here. So we're just waiting for this candle to close, and I want to show you what happens here when this candle closes. Okay, see what happened? The candle now closed, that check mark disappeared, and now we have a check mark down here. So now we're going to look to buy this. Okay. So again, the check mark is simply the first confirmation. I'm sorry, we're going to look to sell this. It was the last signal was for a buy. This signal now will be for a sell. Okay. So again, this candle is the first confirmation, the check mark. You have to wait for the next 5-minute candle to close. And again, in order for this trade to stay valid, this candle needs to close down below this zone of action. If it closes up here above it, then more than likely that check mark's going to disappear again. Okay, so we'll come back in about 5 minutes, see what this does. Okay, so we're waiting for this 5-minute candle to close here. We got the check mark on the candle before it. And if this candle closes too far down here, then the trade is going to be nullified because price will have already moved through the two take profits that are given once the parameters show up here. So you can see what happened there, and there you go. The white flag is already there, guys. That means that this is no trade now, okay? Because this candle that we were waiting for to close already went through both of the take profit targets. Okay, we just scroll back out here so you can see that. There's exit 1, there's exit 2. Okay, you can't take the trade on this candle. You have to wait for this candle to close. And when this candle closed, it already moved through take profit 2. So there's no trade here. You see how the white flag shows up right away? There's no trade. So even if price comes back into this zone, you would not take this trade. We have to wait for the next one to show up. So just showing you how this scanner works, guys. It's important to understand this because the last two signals now that have come out were actually no trades. Now you could have taken the last one that I showed you had you did a market execution because it was very, very close to the zone of action. But if you had a limit order set, it probably would have not executed. Okay, guys, we got another confirmation check mark here for a sell signal. And again, the only thing that shows up at this point is the zone of action box or the golden zone box. We have to wait for this next 5-minute candle to close until the parameters for the trade will show up. And again, if price moves through this box and closes up above here, then that check mark's just going to disappear. Okay. So ideally, this candle will close down here below the box, and then the trade parameters will show up, and we'll be able to have a situation where we could potentially take a trade on XAUUSD tonight on gold. And again, we're scalping on the 5-minute chart with the golden era scanner. Okay, so you can see here, guys, we got a little bit of time left before this 5-minute candle closes. You can see price did go up above the zone, but it has come back down now. So if it closes right here where it's at, then we'll have the parameters will show up and we'll have a potential trade here tonight on gold. So I'm not sure how much longer we have here, about half a minute or so, I think. There you go. So there are the parameters for the trade, right? And what happened was price already hit take profit 2. So once again, price came down too far and there's no trade here. So this is what happens sometimes with the scanner. So what happens is this candle, you have to wait for this candle to close. And because it closed too far down, price had already gone through exit 1 and exit 2. So the white flag already shows up and there's no trade. Okay. So even though the parameters show up for you here, there is no trade because price has already moved through the 2 take profit targets before pulling back to the zone. Right? So I'm probably going to finish it up tonight here on this one, guys. We had 3 potential trade setups, but all 3 of them ended up being invalidated. What we'll do is I'll come back on tomorrow night, Monday evening, and again, we'll look for another 3 potential setups, and we'll see if we're able to get any of those into actual trades on gold. So again, this is only a period of about an hour or so where I've been watching the scanner, and we had 3 potential setups, that all 3 of them ended up being invalidated. So it's important to understand that you're not taking the trade off of this check mark candle. You have to wait for the next candle to close. Okay. So if this candle would have closed up here, a little bit higher up, then this trade would have still been on. And we could have gotten a pullback to the zone and then a move down through to take profits. But since it already had gone through both of the profit targets, there's no potential for a trade. The white flag already shows up. Have a great night, guys, and I'll see you again tomorrow evening.